The FA are after a replacement for Gareth Southgate. I know someone they can leave alone. Hello team, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. I have retired to the car because it's raining outside and I don't want to stand in the wet recording a video, so there you go. Don't forget, as always, to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already to Newcastle Fans TV. Check out the membership options as well. But as you all would have heard by now, I'm sure, Gareth Southgate has left his position as head coach of the England national team, men's national team I should say. And of course the rumours, the obvious rumours, have now started about Eddie Howe being a real live contender to replace Southgate. The FA, I'm sure, will want to have a conversation with Eddie, who's obviously away at pre-season training camp at Adidas HQ in Germany. Look, he has drifted in the betting, though. Let's just take a look at this. Graham Potter is the favourite, which makes sense. Out of work at the moment. Another youngish, up-and-coming English manager. Lee Carsley is the one for money, being backed in as well, because he follows that same path that Southgate himself was on as well, being the current England under-21s manager. Then comes Eddie Howe, who is on the drift, thankfully. Look, it's going to be incredibly frustrating because we want a quick resolution. And the way the FA work, I don't think we will get that quick resolution. So there's going to be speculation swirling around Newcastle United, which doesn't help when, yes, there's been changes at boardroom level with the departure of Amanda and Mirdad. Paul Mitchell coming in to replace Weasley Dan, along with James Bunce. I've been going round in circles in my own head, wondering and thinking whether or not Howe would be interested in taking the job at this time. I don't think there's ever any doubt that he will be England manager one day. Has this come too soon for him? Is he ready to really give up on the day-to-day grind of being a club manager? It's still a good job. It's still an exciting project, the Newcastle job. You know, he'll be aiming to get us back into Europe this season with a few more big signings, hopefully on the way soon. Me and Johnny spoke to Lindsay Hipgrave about this last year, about whether she would be worried. Here's what the TNT sports presenter had to say.
No, I've read a few things about this in the last week, obviously, with the England performances, but I'm not that worried about it. I think like other people are. I just think, I don't know why he'd want to do it at his age. I just think he's gonna want that day-to-day experience of club management where he's involved in everything. I just don't know how someone at his stage of his career, where he's got such an exciting project to be part of, that the club's put their faith in him, they're putting the whole structure in place to work around him, around Dan Ashworth. I think the club wouldn't, even if we do have a bad run, I think he'd still be supportive. They're definitely in it for the long term with him, and I think he should know that. I'm sure he does. So I just don't know why he would want to get off that ride when it's still at the early stages, you know, when there's so much excitement to come, and he can spearhead it. Why would you want to take the England job at that point?
So Lindsay Hipgrave isn't worried, and that was and is my first thought, that I think he's happy in Newcastle, moved his family up now, of course, has his coaching staff around him, keeps a tight-knit circle. Still obviously going to be figuring things out with Mitchell and Bunce. But, you know, that's not going to be a surprise. Someone had to replace Dan Ashworth, didn't they? And we've got a very, very shrewd operator in Mitchell. Then again, I also think, well, this is a great chance to take that England job with the attacking options we've got. Southgate, as well documented, way too defensive. Yes, did a great job, Southgate, on the whole. Fantastic. But when it really matters, when the chips are down, did he have enough to be bold, take a risk, and really attack the day? No, he didn't have that in his armoury. it would be tempting for Howe, in my opinion. It really would. Why wouldn't he want to work with the likes of Foden, Bellingham, Kane, Saka, Gordon, still, of course, as well, Palmer. As a England fan, and look, we're all club over country. That's why you're watching this. Let's face it. But as an England fan, you'd love to see Howe with those attacking options at his disposal. World Cup campaign coming up, qualifying campaign coming up, followed by a home Euros. It would be really tempting for Howe. I think the job will be there for him at a later date. I still think Graham Potter is the really obvious choice, to be honest. He's out of work. There's been a lot of managerial merry-go-rounds this summer, which he's kind of stayed away from, I think, with this job in mind. I think he's the obvious choice. But the FA will certainly want to speak to Howe, and rightly so, because he's done a fantastic job so far at Newcastle. If he were to leave, I don't think it's the end of the world. I think Pochettino would be an absolute shoo-in. I mean, don't get me wrong, Pochettino wouldn't actually be my choice were Howe to leave. But you look at Pochettino previously working with Paul Mitchell at Tottenham. They did great things at Spurs. They've never been closer to winning something under that partnership. He wouldn't be my choice, as I say. I'd like to see Edin Terzic, who was previously Dortmund manager. I would like to see him there. The romantics would say Jose Mourinho, but a lot of people would also say no to Jose Mourinho. Obviously, most recently, just taking the Fenerbahce job and signing Alan St-Maximin. So I don't think that would happen. And there's a risk for Eddie Howe as well. You know, with Amanda Mirdad not being there, it's a big season for Howe. And, you know, if he was to turn down the England job and stay with Newcastle, if he's 8th, 9th, 10th by Christmas, is his job on the line? It may well be this season. I don't know. Look, he still retains all of my support, and I'm guessing none of... I mean, let me know in the comments, would you want to see Howe leave? I can't imagine many people do at all. I so want him to succeed at Newcastle United. I always think the England job will be there for him eventually. But there'd be unfinished business there. But like I say, it wouldn't be the end of the world. Let me know your thoughts. Will Howe go? If he does, who do you want to replace him? As I say, it's just a conversation starter. I don't want Howe to go. I don't want him to leave. I think they'll speak to him, the FA, but we need it to happen quickly so we can move on and really focus for the nitty-gritty of this season coming up, because otherwise it doesn't help anyone. The FA might not be in a rush, but Newcastle don't want this hanging over their head after the summer of change we've experienced so far. Hit that like button once again, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Stay tuned to Newcastle Fans TV.